Hey everybody, welcome back to the channel. Today I've got a very exciting video on the Palmetto Armory M110. So if you're not familiar with this rifle, this is a rifle built out by PSA, inspired by the actual M110, but for about a fraction of the cost. So if you're familiar with the actual M110 used by the military, you'll know that that rifle is quite expensive. I mean, to the tune of several $1,000s. This gun, I got it for approximately $1,500 before taxes and shipping. So this is a semi-automatic sniper rifle type weapon here that is chambered in 308 and 6.5 Creedmoor. I personally have the 308 variant, but this is a rifle built out with a ton of upgrades, a ton of just phenomenal parts that come together to build out this awesome firearm. At the point that you're watching this video, I've got about 350 rounds to this rifle, so not a lot, but enough to give, you know, an initial impressions and kind of overview of how this rifle's performed. Long story short, I didn't have any issues. So if you watch anything on YouTube surrounding this rifle, you know there's been some mixed reviews, mixed comments on how it's performed. I will say that I've got a serial number in the 400s, and this rifle specifically has been phenomenal. I've had zero malfunctions. I've had no failures to fire, no failures to extract, anything like that. It's performed exactly how I've wanted it to. I've not had any issues cycling the gun, cycling any different types of ammo. I've ran steel case ammo. I've ran Federal, Winchester, PMC Bronze, you name it, I've run it. I've even run some hunting ammo because I do plan on running this gun for hunting this year. But yeah, the gun's done phenomenal. Like I said, it's got a mixture of parts, and I'm gonna go over that now from tip to butt. All right, so I just did a 0 of the PSA M110, and I just did a quick accuracy group, just a little 5-round shot group. So my point of aim was this black dot right here. I've got 4 rounds right here. I've got 1 flyer. That's from another string of fire. But if we take the ruler here, we've got about 3 inches, a little less than 3 inches, maybe 2 3/4. But again, I'm not using any fancy ammo to do this. I'm just using that Federal, you know, full metal jacket. I probably will do another accuracy group once I break in this barrel, and I'll use some match grade ammo. But yeah, for now, this will do. Again, we're coming at about 2 3/4, about 3 inches. Now we're gonna take this out to range. We're gonna get dope out to 500 yards, and just see what kind of impacts we can get, and then we'll take it from there. There we go. There we go. Okay. All right, so as you just saw, we were able to get dope out to 500 yards. For those of you who are new to long range shooting, dope is just data on previous engagements. That's what the acronym stands for. But essentially, that's your holdovers for shooting out to distance. For those of you that are curious, again, went out to 500 yards. I'm using a 149 grain full metal jacket by Federal. At 100 yards, I was zeroed out. At 200 yards, I hold 0.2 mils above. 300 yards, I was 1 mil above. 400 yards, I was 1.2 mils above, and at 500, took me a little bit to find there, but I was at 2.1 mils. Once I found that 2.1, I was able to get consecutive hits back to back. But yeah, easy. All right, so as I just mentioned, we're gonna do some barricade shooting here. I've got 1 step, 2 step, 3 steps, and then I've got a cutout here. So we're just gonna put the rifle up and move it throughout a couple positions and just get some rounds to the gun to see how it does. No timer or anything, we're just shooting. And we're out. All right, before we get into the specs of the rifle and everything it comes with, I do want to point out that I added the scope mount and the scope and then this CAC foregrip. But aside from that, everything you see on the gun comes with the gun straight from the factory. And that does include a tan carrying case as well with 3 extra magazines. So yeah, let's get into the parts of this gun. So again, this is a semi-automatic sniper system based on the M110. This is a rifle length gas system. The barrel is a 20-inch barrel made from 4150 type steel. It's got a 1 in 10 twist, and again, it's chambered in 308. So at the end of the gun, you've got the Sabre compensator that is proprietary to PSA. And a lot of people have wondered and asked questions on how does the gun do with ringing, because there's been some previous iterations of PSA weapons that had kind of a ringing to the ear. If you'll notice, this gun has the compensator is 3 different levels, and that is to ensure that there's no ringing of the steel or that ping sound that you get, and so it actually makes for really nice shooting. But again, that's the Sabre compensator, and I mean, it's doing a great job. Moving back from there, you've got an adjustable gas system here. This has 5 different positions. I've kept it on the wide open setting for the time being. I've had no reason to really dial it down, but that is an option, especially if you're running suppressed. Next, we've got a Magpul bipod. I think it's great that they throw these in. I mean, I've used several different bipods, but the Magpul is a great, introductory bipod, especially for long range shooting. It does its job, it does it well. You've got some different modes of adjustability, but yeah, at the end of the day, it's just a basic bipod. Coming back here, we've got a wonderfully made quad rail. If you know anything about me, you know that I think quad rails are the best of the best. Way better than M-LOK, a lot more sturdy, and it just makes for a beefier, well-made gun, in my opinion. So again, it's Cerakote tan, beautiful finish, and it comes with these dust rail covers here. You've got three of them, 1 on each side and then 1 on the bottom. Now again, I added this CAC foregrip here. This is something I've had for a long time, and I think just for moving around with it, I think it's a nice little addition there. But it's nice to be able to grab the rail and have these rail covers to protect you. Moving back, you've got a 20-round box magazine. Now, I've also seen a lot of people ask questions about the 6.5 Creedmoor coming with the Magpul mags versus the 308 coming with these box mags. I ran both the Magpul mags, some ASC mags, the box mags that came with this, and I didn't have any issues as far as feeding goes. Now, I did have some instances where the bolt would not lock back. I'm not sure if that's due to the magazines themselves or what, but as far as feeding the rounds go, I've got no issues there. Now, what I've got on top is the Primary Arms 3 to 18 power scope. This is a wonderful scope that I've had for quite a while. I got it off a buddy. This is the Athena reticle. It is a mill-based reticle. Phenomenal. First focal plane, I absolutely love it. It makes shooting just a lot more fun. I've got that on a Primary Arms 2-inch riser mount. Now, a lot of people say that that's really high, but for me personally and getting comfortable behind the gun, I like to be able to keep my head up as high as possible so that I don't feel so scrunched down into the gun itself. But moving back from there, you'll notice the receiver you've got on the left and right side. You'll notice that it is fully ambidextrous. You've got your bolt catch here, which does release the gun. You've got your safety here. And then on the other side, you've also got your magazine release here. And then you've got another bolt release here, which makes it ambidextrous and the safety as well. All right, so the trigger on this is the Sabre 2-stage trigger. This trigger has a nice little take up, very minimal. And then it takes, I want to say about 2 pounds to release that trigger. And it just feels phenomenal. for that precision long range shooting, the trigger makes all the difference, and they did a phenomenal job here. As far as the charging handle goes, you've got a Radian Raptor charging handle. I think those are phenomenal. They are fully ambidextrous, and they just make for a great upgrade that, you know, just really helps things out. So the bolt carrier group itself is a Sabre bolt carrier group, but it has a bunch of Sprinco upgrades that essentially just make it run better and a lot more reliable. And as far as my reliability goes and any issues, I've not had any. It's done its job and it's done it well. Moving back from there, you've got the iconic A1 type stock. That's just a fixed stock. I think it's very aesthetic, and it just brings the whole gun to just a perfect, you know, well-rounded picture here. I want to give a big shout out to Cameron Tapler. He is the man behind this gun, and I believe the whole Sabre line itself. Cameron ensured that I got this gun out here in time for my birthday to be able to shoot it, because I have a baby on the way in about 4 weeks, and I foresee this being my last range day for a while. So Cameron, I want to give a huge shout out to you. Thank you so much. And also just great job developing this. Cameron did a phenomenal job going through each part of this gun and just making it the very best it could be for the very best value that you could get in a gun. So to sum it up, to look at this whole rifle holistically, again, I've got about 350 rounds, various types of ammo. The accuracy's been great. No issues at all. Reliability has been 100%. I've had no issues. I can say for at least my first 350 rounds that I do recommend going and getting this out. Again, there's been a lot of conspiracy on this gun, and you know, there's some big YouTubers out there that have had some mixed results. I do want to say, and I mean this without a shadow of doubt, that it has been absolutely reliable in every sense of the word. I've had not a single malfunction that inhibited me from shooting this gun. So I can say, at least for the time being, go out, get you one. I mean, just the M110 in and of itself is practically, you know, one of those bucket list guns that you never think you're going to get. PSA has made that a reality. 1,500 bucks, you can't go wrong. I'm gonna keep running this gun. I'm gonna put tons of rounds through it. Yeah, it's expensive, but I do wanna give it the due diligence that it deserves to see how this is gonna do long term. And I also wanna run it through some competitions. I've done some DMR and sniper style matches. I would love to see how this stacks up. The 308 round is very capable, and I think this rifle is very capable. We're gonna keep pushing it and just be the best we can be with the best rifle that we can at this time. At the end of the day, no matter what you're using, no matter what guns you have, it doesn't matter. If you don't use them, you don't get out and train, and you don't get out there to be better. We have God-given rights to protect ourselves, to bear these arms that have been just beautifully made. So we should use it, we should do it, and we should go out there and shoot, have fun, train with the boys, and just be the best person you can be. Thank you guys so much for the support. Thank you for watching my videos. I love making these videos. I love coming out to the range and shooting, and I just have a blast doing this, and it makes me feel good that y'all get some value out of this as well. Pick up this gun, you won't regret it. We're gonna keep putting rounds through it. We'll see you next time.